Curious Lager. Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer. Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. The sun is well and truly over the yard arm, which means it is definitely time for a beer. And I've got a local beer today, based in Ashford in Kent. And this is a bit weird because I have just reviewed a beer previous to this, which was made with champagne yeast, and it had a lot of the characteristics of wine. It was from the I'll tell you what, rather than me trying to get my useless memory going, it was from the Wild Beer Company. It was called Murmur. This was brewed with champagne yeast. It was brewed with another wine yeast as well, which for the life of me I can't remember, but it was brewed with Nelson Sauvin hops as well, which have got a lot of characteristics from grapes, from white or light coloured grapes. And I've got another one here, which was, these are winemakers and they've started brewing beer, and they must be doing something right because they've got Brewer of the Year 2019. So I thought I'm definitely going to have to try this out, because they're just up the road in Ashford, and yeah, it's always a sort of policy of mine. I love supporting local breweries. If they're good, I will tell you they're good. If they're shit, I'll tell you they're shit. I've got no loyalty to anyone, to be honest. You know, it's all about what they're brewing. So let's stop gassing and let's see what this is. Right, as I say, this is brewed by the Curious Brewery, previously winemakers, which they like to say, or curiously brewed by winemakers, which they like to put on the label. This is a lager, crisp and fruity English premium lager. Is there such a thing? And it's with champagne yeast. That's the notes they've got on it. The hops are Cascade, Sars, and Nelson Sauvin. Right, so Cascade is an American hop. Sars is one of the noble hops from Germany, Austria, wherever. And Nelson Sauvin is a very fruity hop that has a lot of grape characteristics on it, hence the name Sauvin. On the back of the label it says a premium lager of purity and freshness brewed using Cascade and Sars hops and finest English malted barley. Then, for a cleaner, fruitier and more aromatic finish, re-fermented with champagne yeast and a dosage of rare Nelson Sauvin hops. From Chapel Down, England's leading... Chapel Down. See, you might as well be speaking another language of me when it comes to wine, but they've said that from Chapel Down, England's leading winemaker, Curious Brewing made premium beers and ciders, each with a winemaker's twist. Beer for the discerning, beer for the curious. Contains water, malted barley, wheat, hops, and yeast. Okay, it's 4.7% and it's a 330ml bottle. Let's get it open and see what's going on. As I say, they're from just up the road. They're using a strange selection of hops. Never had that combination before. But I'm curious. No pun intended, there's a cap. I'm curious to see what this actually tastes like. You know, I've got a big downer on wine, don't like it, don't like the culture, don't like the people that drink it. But there you go, that's just me, but let's see what they've got going. Not a lot in the aroma anyway. There's some slight spicy notes, very yeasty smell to it as well. There's just some sort of fruity notes on it. Not much malt. But let's see if we can get it in a glass and see if we can get anything else out of it. Right, it's a very light golden straw colour with a 1.5 finger whitehead. Reasonable amounts of carbonation in it. There it is. Check out the bubbles sticking to the side. One day I will fix that dishwasher. Right on the nose. A little bit more lager aromas coming from it now. It's a touch of lemon citrus on there. Little touch of spice as well. I'm not sure whether that's coming from the champagne yeast or whether it's coming from the Saaz hops. The Saaz hops definitely do have a little touch of spice on it. But yeah, doesn't smell too bad, but aromas aren't, you know, really hitting me in the face. Let's get it down the hatch and see what's going on. Cheers. Them Saaz hops are really coming through on it. Nice earth and spiciness to it. Quite refreshing as well. Not much of a malty back end on it though. There's a dryness to it, which I'm not sure is coming from the yeast, the champagne yeast. There is a certain dryness to it, and there's a touch of wine, sort of, how would I describe that? Yeah, like a dry wine sort of element to it as well. The hops, certainly the Saaz hops are coming through on that, and the Cascade, not so much. Not really getting that, but it's very clean and refreshing, and for once I will say this lager is crisp. Now the adjective crisp gets thrown around with lager quite a lot, and it fucking winds me up, because lager isn't crisp. Usually lager's not crisp, it's smooth. To my mind, crisp is a dry, like a Huza, or some Belgian ales have a dry finish to it, dry spicy finish to it. I sort of get a little bit of crispness from this, but this wine is the ultimate in crispiness. I think white wine, you can't get crispier than that, and to me that is what, you know, I would describe as crisp. Lager certainly isn't. Lager's smooth, most lagers are anyway. This has got some crispiness to it. I'm getting a dryness, excuse me, I'm getting a dryness from it. And them Saaz hops are really complementing that. It's not like your average lager. You're getting a bit of a dry mouthfeel, lots of earth and lots of spice. Now, as I say, it's got the Cascade hops in there. Not really getting them with Cascade. They're an American type hop, and I'll be expecting, you know, a little bit of bitterness, but some fruitiness on it as well. And I'm not getting that at all. The Saaz and I'm assuming what's causing the dryness is the champagne yeast are coming through on that. Not really a malty back on it. Not really a malty back end on it. But it's nice, it's different. I will give it that. That is definitely different. Now, I'll take that back. When I said there wasn't much of the Cascade hops, that's coming through now. I'm getting some of the grapefruit on that, and it's giving it a slightly bitter note. I don't know whether it's because I've had this held in my hand and it's warmed it up very slightly, but that's coming through now. And I'm getting them aromas as well from the Cascade. Before it was all about the SARS. This is quite a good effort actually. It's certainly different. This is not your average lager. It doesn't compare to a German lager or Pilsner or Czech Pilsner. They call it, quite rightly so in my opinion, they're calling it a premium, an English premium lager. Well, if this is an English lager style, then I quite like it. I quite like what they're trying to do. They've got the old world and new world hops fighting for contention, but you're getting both. I think this has been in the fridge for about 3 days, so it's been really cold, and I've just drank this really cold, which to be honest, that is how lager should be drunk. You know, on a day like this, I mean, it's been fucking roasting today. It's almost bordering on the pale ale with them Cascade hops. They're really coming through now. The grapefruit is shining through on that. So what's the verdict? Yeah, I like this. I like what they're trying to do. They're trying to steer lager in a different direction. Now, don't get me wrong, whether lager needs to be steered in another direction or not, I don't know. I think the Germans and the Czechs have pretty much got lager sussed. But if this is going to be another style, English premium lager, that's the first brewery I've heard using that term, which I suppose it is to an extent, apart from the Cascade hops and the SARS hops. But it's not bad. It's not a bad effort. It's certainly different, and I like it. And I'm not saying this because they're a local brewery. If this was shit, believe me, I would tell you it's shit. And I've had a couple of beers from Kent brewers that have been absolute dog shit. Check out my review of the chili and beetroot Hefeweiss. Fucking hell, what an abomination that fucking thing was. But this is nice. I like it. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 because I get what they're trying to do. They're just trying to be different, and I'm getting that. Whether it's going to catch on or not, I don't know. You know, English premium lager. England isn't renowned for its lager, but it's not bad. I like it. It's 7.5 out of 10. I'll recommend you try it just because it's a little bit different from your average lager. You know, I've seen craft brewers brewing lager and, you know, pumping it out and into a little can, charging you like $2.50. You drink it and you think, fucking hell, really? $2.50 for half a pint of average. This is different and this is nice, and it's currently available on, I think, is it Beers of Europe or is it Masters of Malt? It's one of the two. Check either out and get some. Very nice. I've got their IPA downstairs. I'm going to review that soon, so keep an eye out for that. And remember, beer is working class champagne.